Welcome to my Boozie Review of RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 2, Episode 8, Stoned on the Runway. In the last episode, Taze, who Graham said had a scratchy gash, and Sister, who delusionally thought she looked great, even though she looked like she'd been dug out of the back garden, had to lip sync, and Sister went home, which I feel like she should have gone home a few episodes ago, but whatever. And in this episode, we'll have a comedy challenge, which will either be really, really funny or really, really painful.
Absolute love, you champions. Sister.
You camp cows.
Oh.
I love how Taze thought Sister's mirror message said champions when it said camp cows. So we're going to talk about why RuPaul's wearing a pussycat wig. Is it a bus driver wig or a pussycat wig? I'll have to look that one up. I mean, it's just one of these things that he just threw in his head and put a comb through for a couple times. But well, maybe we just want to do something different. Instead of a hat, a pussycat wig. They're doing the Mask for Masked Singers, and I'm having issues seeing them being very masculine, but we'll see. I'm glad it's based on singing ability in this one, because none of them are really singing that well. Bimini's look is sort of androgynous. Same with Ellie's, but it's just in a different way. Ellie's reminds me of like those 80s new wave bands where they wore makeup and had big hair, but were apparently straight. Well, some of them were. Taze reminds me of more of like Mick Jagger in Rolling Stones. Lauren's going for like a 70s rocker vibe, but I'm not sure exactly what band that would be. It's an interesting look. And hers trying to do a campy Alan Cumming in Cabaret, so I'm not sure if that's totally butch or totally mask, but that's probably the most butch I've seen Ahura. I'm not sure what the criteria for winning this one was, but I guess Ellie Diamond won. One of those. They just sort of randomly pick someone and think, okay, we want them to be the one choosing the teams because there might be some drama. And there's drama.
No, I would do like a shit sandwich. So I would do the people you know that are going to be strong at the beginning and the end.
Oh my God, not a shit sandwich. I mean, she's basically saying, oh, we're going to be the really good ones. And Taze and Oprah are going to struggle in the middle. Although that is tactically what you're supposed to do, is start strong, end strong. They always say it makes a difference, but I don't think it really does. I think opening does make a difference because if you're really terrible at the beginning or you're really terrible at the end, that's when they're going to remember. They're going to think, oh man, they were really terrible to begin with. And when at the end, that's the last person they see. I don't see really the big deal of this. I don't think it really matters at the end of the day, but they seem to think it does. I don't know why they're freaking out because I'm thinking to myself, it is competition. I mean, the whole thing is you want to win. So why wouldn't you do stuff to put yourself in a better position? Not that really if she put herself in a better position, I don't think coming second really is that good, but I don't think it's really that bad either. But I guess because there's so much pressure now they're down to the top 5 that they're getting all in their feelings, but I just don't understand what the big deal is. I also like how Taze and Bimini are just kind of like, whatever, wherever we're done, we'll just work with it. But Ahura and Lawrence are like, they take it as personal attacks. They want to speak to Ellie Diamond's manager. So I like Rue's look here. It's kind of like Oscar statue of realness. But no, it looks good. It's like a fairly standard dress, but the gold and the red orange hair kind of just gives it that kind of, sort of regal, but statuette. Statuesque, but also a statue. So I see Michelle's back to wearing armor again. It always looks like armor. At least it's on her whole body instead of just the shoulder. Her hair kind of looks like Cher, but also Morticia Adams. It's weird. I like Alan's suit. It's just, I don't really just like the top parts by itself, but when you see it as a whole thing, it looks nice. It looks good. But just the top part, no, I don't. It's kind of like tartany, but it doesn't seem to match. I don't know. It looks okay though. I always enjoy Dawn French, and I like what she's wearing too. It's like very gold. It's kind of matching Rue's gold. Because of COVID and lockdown, of course, there's no audience. It's just blow-up dolls for some reason. Well, I don't know why they couldn't just use the crew. Like, the crew's there anyways, and just have them spaced out.
What me and my nan found at that gap was what really brought us together. It was a real deep, wholesome connection. We both had...
A lot of people are trying to figure out what she actually said, because how bad could it be that they actually had to beep it out? And everyone's like, oh my God. But apparently she said, I don't know if I can say this on YouTube. Apparently she said gaping asshole. But from what I heard, the grandmother actually asked them to beep it out. And that's why they beeped it out. It was at the grandmother's request. So I don't think her was that bad. I think she stumbled a bit. Like she forgot she was saying, and then Rue had to help her. And her humor was a little in the gutter. Not a bad thing, but it was kind of like, it's okay if your humor's in the gutter as long as it's funny. But it was kind of more like, kind of shocking. Like you're shocked, so you start laughing type of thing instead of actually being funny. But it wasn't that bad. I like what her is wearing, but I mean, I like the dress and I like the hair. It's just, I feel like it says more boy than girl, that's all. But hey, man, that's what he's going for. So Ellie Diamond said was weird. I mean, you laugh because it's just so off and it doesn't quite make sense. But I think she misunderstood what Alan Carr was saying. Alan Carr was saying, you know, save the exorcist voice for the frog part. But she kept thinking, okay, the frog part's, the exorcist part's funny, so I'll just keep doing it. But it was so random. And the way she just like ends. She's like, it's like all of a sudden, okay, next up. And you're like, what? It's over. There's no like lead up to the end, so. This isn't unusual. This is actually unusual for Ellie. I've never seen her in this type of thing, but it seemed weird because she's so large and she was sitting like with her legs wide open and just looked kind of funny. I don't know if it's a Scottish thing, but both her and Lawrence were both wearing all red. Like red hair, red outfit, red everything. I don't think Bimini's that funny. I mean, I think she's the funniest so far. Her made it sound like she was like, oh my God, she's making everyone laugh so hard and they can't catch their breath. And I'm like, well, there were parts where they weren't laughing at all. So I like what Bimini's wearing. It's sort of like a vampy 1940s looking woman. It's like 1940s hooker. I mean, Lawrence is eventually funny, but it was a long walk to get there. I'm not a big fan of Lawrence's outfit, but I think he did do a comedic effect because he did mention that he had a camel toe and he had big poofy hair, looks like French poodle. But I'm not a big fan of it. Though I like it actually more than Ellie's. So, and once again, like I said, Scottish Queen's wearing red for some reason, even though they're not talking to each other, which is like, I'm not talking to you, but let's all both wear red. I mean, Tay started out really funny, but it fizzled after. It kind of went downhill. I like Tace's. I mean, I like the Amy Winehouse looking hair. I like the dress. I mean, that's kind of what I like, even though she's not really wearing boobs or anything, but she's wearing a bra, so it kind of gives her more of like a better look, in my opinion. And I like the long fingernails, the long black fingernails. Kind of scary. Well, overall, it's good. I like it. So for hers look, I like it. It's okay. I mean, it doesn't, not bad. I like the hair, but it's just like a bodysuit with diamonds on it. And I don't think she needs the IV stand at all. It kind of gets kind of confusing. I get the dripping in diamonds that she's going for, but if you don't think about that, it's kind of like, oh, what's the IV for? I can see what O'Hara means by you're never really surprised by what Ellie wears. But this one, I don't know, like she has like a furry skirt, furry arms, and then the chest is like all sheer with some diamonds on it. It just looks, it's kind of weird looking. It's unbalanced. I'm not necessarily a fan of like the look, although I know it's very fashion. It's like something you'd see on a runway. But I love the idea. Even though the actual look isn't my favorite, but the fact that she did all these diamonds that look like zits and she looks like she's kind of diseased, it looks cool. Like if it was just Jack without that, I would hate it. But there's actually some creativity along with it. I think it's really good. I mean, I like it's like a Doctor Who alien, but it is a body suit. But I do like the detail and I like the idea behind it. It's like Bimini had a really good creative idea behind hers, but hers was more successful than Lawrence's, in my opinion. I mean, it's not basic. It's just a bit like lacking compared to the other ones, but I do like it. I still like it. I like her hair. Compared to the other ones, it just feels kind of like, oh, it's something you'd see before. But like I said, it still looks good.
Who chose the lineup? Was it you, Ellie?
Yeah.
Okay, shady bitch.
Sorry.
Well, that's how you play the game, right?
I think RuPaul calling Ellie a shady bitch. But she's right. That's how you play the game. So she doesn't want the girls to be nice. And no more fucking H&M. I like when Dawn French was criticizing Ellie and you just see Lawrence look over. But of course they add like a little sound effect just to make it more shady. Do you know this show wouldn't be as shady if they didn't add sound effects? Because there's so many times they like pump up the drama. And what they say isn't actually that dramatic, but it seems more because of the sound effects and the music. I mean, I get she's upset because she's probably going to go home, but I mean, she's definitely going to be lip syncing, but I think she's being way over dramatic.
Someone's gonna, chuck a marble underneath you and you trip and fall, well then, you should have looked at the floor.
I agree with Taze. If someone throws a marble under you and you trip, You should look to the floor. Yeah, it is crazy. She has like 3 badges and she's gotten really good every week. And I actually thought she should have gone home the first week. I was surprised they kept her over Joe Black. I was thinking, oh, they should just get rid of Bimini. She's not going to get any better. Well, I was wrong. She's like blowing an air kiss at her, and Hora's like, yeah, go to hell. Look at the size difference between Bimini and Ellie. It's like her child is sick and she's taking her to the doctors. They actually both did a really good job. I mean, I know Taste won, but her actually, I mean, that could have been a double save. Yeah, Taste is actually a really good lip syncer. She was killing it. Even Alan Carr was like, I don't know who to watch because they're both doing so good. But like I said, yeah, Taste was killing it. She is a lip sync assassin. I mean, overall, it's pretty good. I mean, the comedy is okay. I don't think anyone really bombed, even though Aurora did do the worst. I'm not a big fan of Aurora by any means, but I do think she actually deserved to be top 4 over Ellie Diamond. Because Ellie still hasn't had a win. She's like the UK's Candy Muse. I don't dislike her or anything, but I don't think she deserves to be in the top. Oh, spoilers, Candy Muse in the top 4. I think this wasn't a comedy challenge, and her was better comedy. Yeah, I think Ellie would have been screwed. I think she would have actually gone home. Next episode, Rue isn't wearing a pussycat wig, but he is wearing a hat. Well, in Canada, they call it a toque. I think in the US, they call it a beanie, and I'm not sure what they call it in the UK. It just looks kind of strange on him. I know some people theorize that he's hiding something on his head, like maybe he has like a scar or something, but it is weird that he's hiding his head. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and comment down below how shady you think Ellie Diamond was. And as always, stay boozy and fabulous.